name's Oriandra. I'll help you get out of this place. You aren't frozen. You just think you are. You can move. You just need to remember how. Now remember your strength, your power. Take a weapon. Feel the weight in your hand. Now go, beyond the door. You need to see for yourself before I tell you more. You've been imprisoned in this mind trap by an entity called Keturah. Its magic is powerful, but you're stronger than you know. It may appear beautiful, but it's an illusion. A trap designed to control you. Keturah won't tolerate your resistance much longer.
Ha 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 ha! There is no escape. I will break you in time. Watch as I turn your own memories against you.
Defend yourself. In the mind trap, memories can kill you. Another one. Defend yourself and strike back. Stronger. You need to reach the tower to escape the mind trap. I can't go with you, but I'll send messages to guide you. Just believe in yourself and you can do this. The pearl! It's the key to escaping this mind trap. Now, you did well. It gladdens my heart to see you awake and free, my friend. You're the first to respond to my help and escape from that entity's grasp. I am Oriandra, and I wear the cloak of the Sijic Order. I came to Summerset at the behest of our Right Master when I sensed a dark and powerful mind magic emanating from this area. When I noticed your predicament, I knew I had to intercede. The Sijic Order is an ancient society of mages, more akin to a monastic order than to the upstart Mages Guild, for example. We once served as advisors to the rulers of Tamriel, before we departed the world to pursue other interests. It means just that. We took our island of Artaeum and sent it someplace else to better promote meditative study and contemplation. We maintain an interest in Tamriel, though, hence my appearance here during your time of need. I haven't isolated the source of the mind magic, except that the malevolent entity calls itself Keturah. It imprisoned you in the mind trap in order to control you, but to what purpose I'm not sure. I have no idea. Whoever or whatever Keturah is, it wields powerful mind magic, much more powerful than anything I've ever encountered before. The mind trap is an insidious spell that has ensorcelled a number of victims. I'm still watching over them. You weren't the only newcomer to wander into this mind trap. Even a number of high elves have succumbed to the dark entity's power. With my help, though, you were the first to break free. That gives me hope that I can eventually save the others. You noticed that, did you? Very observant. The mind trap created replicas of items you already possessed. You needed them, so they became real inside the illusion. And of course, you'd still have them in the waking world. They are real, after all. Take a moment to rest, but once you've shaken off any residual effects of the spell, I might require your assistance. And take this. I assume it belongs to you. It was near your unconscious body when I found you. I must return to the Eldbur ruins to the north and aid the others caught in Katora's mine trap. If you find yourself in the area, you might be able to assist me. Stay safe, and remember, you have a friend in the Psijic Order.
Can't fight those monsters! I'm getting out of here! The island sprung a leak. Run! First, the Queen issues a decree that changes the status of Summerset from an isolated paradise into a tourist attraction. Now monsters, sea creatures, I've never seen anything like them. Well, I say let the cat fight them. Better him than me. Suddenly the ground opened, spewing water and strange creatures. They attacked us. Luckily, one of the newcomers, a Khajiit, leaped in and drove them back. Called himself Razumdar. He could probably use some help if you're so inclined.
Are those creatures?
Raz enjoys a good fight as much as the next guy, but these are horrible creatures. Five Claw, good to see you. Raz has a proposal if you have the time. Have you ever seen such creatures? Raz has not. Probably neither have you. You are a newcomer, yes? New to this island of high elves? This one has an eye for such things. And you look capable. So can Raz interest you in some cloak and dagger work? Ominous? No, nothing of the sort. Well, maybe a little of the sort. Depends on how things develop. Raz has come to Summerset at the behest of Queen Irene to make sure her decree regarding the opening of the island proceeds as she directed. Ask some questions, determine the mood in Shimmerin, and see how the newcomers are faring. Rumors have reached the Queen, and she's concerned. So Razumdar comes to see what is happening and fight strange creatures. Now Raz is concerned as well. While you ask questions around the city, Raz can take care of some other business. It may or may not involve scratching and clawing. Let's meet near the entrance to Shimmerin when you have something to report.
Go find your own patch of beach. Not that you'd understand the concept, but the path to Alaxon requires dedication and complete concentration. I must find the perfect shells, or my pigments will be substandard. And do you know what that will do to my art? Exactly. An ultimate concept practiced widely here in Summerset. Alaxon is the state of perfection that every High Elf strives for. The path to Alaxon represents the approach we take to achieve that state. Now, why have you interrupted my work? I believe in caution as much as the next High Elf, but sometimes the rules get in the way of common sense. My apprentice lived here for more than a year. Good help is so hard to find, especially among the newcomers. And she was adept at making dyes. They took her away. Said they had to scrutinize her qualifications, test her knowledge of culture and etiquette. But I haven't seen her since. My work suffers, so of course I complained to the monks. Now I have to gather my own shells. They told me I could fill out some forms and appeal to the kin lady. But who has time for such bureaucracy? And for a wood elf? I've said too much. I have work to do, and all this aggravation has diverted my path to Alaxon.
A newcomer in the warehouse district? Unusual, but how can I help you today, my friend? The Divine? Who told you that? If a Justiciar sent you to try and trick me into confessing... No. The High Elves would never send a newcomer to perform such a task. But I admit it, I made my thoughts known. I arranged to bring my cousin here to work with me. The ship arrived, but all the newcomers were carted away. For questioning, they said. I complained to the kin lady and anyone else who would listen. And what has it gotten me? Nothing. My family has been here for generations and generations. Before the Queen's decree, outsiders might have been rare. We were not unheard of. Our business has grown and gets better every day. That's why I sent for my cousin. We need the help.
Close the monastery.
Good people, I hear your concerns.
But the workers I hired, they were aboard the ship from Rivenspire.
The Kin Lady and I, we have only your in mind. Every guest must be sequestered while we ascertain their suitability for Altmer society.
The Old Dark's right! Lock up the newcomers!
Send the newcomers back where they came from! We don't want them here!
Such anger. Raz never expected to hear such words from the Queen's loyal subjects. The sentiment isn't universal, but enough feel this way for Raz to be concerned. Did you learn anything interesting from the people I sent you to talk to? Sequester. Just a different word for imprisoned, yes. Ranul's cousin just arrived, but Old Newell's assistant has lived on Summerset since long before the Queen ever issued her decree. What about the lizard? What did Sok Solza have to say? Why would the Aldar gather up newcomers and non-High Elf residents alike and send them to the monastery? Does the King Lady condone this behavior? Raz's head itches, and not in a good way. Our course is clear, Five Claw. We must go to the monastery.
No, not now, please. Your spiritual well-being can wait until after my nap. You'll have to ask one of the monks that the new Aldork brought with him. They deal with all the newcomer testing and evaluations. I'm just a simple monk trying to catch up on my sleep. That was a hint, by the way. Aldork Tilkala arrived right after the Queen issued her decree. He came highly recommended by King Lady Avanice, or so I heard. It's not unusual for monks to form attachments and move together, but there's something strange about that bunch. The Aldork and his monks keep to themselves. They've taken the Undercroft for their own purposes and ordered the rest of us to avoid the ancient vaults beneath the monastery. Now, please, let me get back to my nap. The monastery should be a place of peace and meditation. The Aldork has closed us down until further notice. That means if any of the monks spot you, they'll raise the alarm. Me? I never saw you. Now, if you don't mind, my nap awaits.
Unusual knick-knack for an Aldork's office, wouldn't you agree? I noticed you skulking around while I was engaged in some skulking of my own. I suppose we both came to the monastery with a similar purpose in mind. The sequestered newcomers. I came to find out what happened to a friend. I assume that's what brought you here as well? A house of worship shouldn't be used as an internment camp, and it shouldn't be locked to the public either. Interesting. I've never seen anything quite like it. I find it intriguing and a bit disturbing. But we aren't here to discuss curios. Strange creatures notwithstanding, we need to find out what's happening with the missing newcomers. The sentry doesn't appear to have stopped you, so I could ask you the same question. Let's just agree that we both have our methods. Curious, but I feel that there's more going on in Shimmerine than the usual politics and community relations. That's the question, my cautious friend. We have a newly appointed Aldork and a disgruntled kin lady, both opposed to the Queen's decree. What's their connection to the missing newcomers? I was about to explore the Undercroft. Care to join me? A curious pearl. I wonder where the Aldork acquired it. Probably not important. I'll meet you in the Undercroft, and we can see what's going on with the newcomers. Something's wrong down here. I sense magic. Vile magic. Cages! These people did nothing to deserve such treatment. There's someone alive over there. See if you can help her.
Thank the Divines! You aren't one of the monks. Please, let me out of here. It's a nightmare. We came to Summerset to seek new opportunities. We barely stepped off the ship when they marched us to the monastery. Instead of questioning us or the usual high elf bureaucracy, they locked us in these cages. The monks gathered them a few moments ago and took them through the door on the far side of the chamber. Please, let me out of here before they take me away like the others.
Is that a scoffin?
Oh, thank you for setting me free.
A Daedra? Here? And that's a scoffin, if I remember my Daedric recitations correctly. Very curious. An excellent question, and one I hope to find the answer to. From the evidence before us, it appears this Nord killed the Scoffin before he succumbed to his own wounds. Good for him. I found this key on the creature's belt, so we can open that door. Then I suggest we pick up the pace. We need to determine what's actually happening down here, and who's behind all this. Without answers to those questions, we won't be able to decide on our best course of action. I'll explain everything later. For now, we need to hurry.
More newcomers? Unfortunately, the magic only affects those who have been prepared. But never fear, your turn will come.
Hold off these creatures. The Pearl's magic attracts these creatures. Hold them off while I complete my spell. Come on, let's talk outside. Those poor people. This wasn't just about newcomers and opposing the Queen's decree. That was Daedric magic back there. I just wish we had arrived a few moments earlier. I promised to explain what I know. I suppose that now's as good a time as any. I'm a member of the Sigic Order. Our Rite Master sent me to investigate a warning we received about a plot involving Summerset. My inquiries led me here. Oriandra is indeed a member of our ancient monastic society. We once served as advisors to the rulers of Tamriel, but that was before we removed our island home from the world. Now this threat has drawn us back. But why are you involved in all this? An Eye of the Queen? Interesting. I diffused the Daedric magic and transported the pearl to Artaeum, the Sigic island, for safekeeping and study, so we can learn more about it. But we can discuss this further once we get out of here. Let the Eye of the Queen know what we discovered, and I'll catch up with you later.
Ah, this one's new partner returns. What interesting scandal did you uncover in the monastery? Tell Raz every juicy detail. That isn't the kind of scandal Raz was hoping for. Murder, Daedric rituals, and traitorous behavior have a way of ruining an otherwise perfect day. We need to learn the extent of the Kin Lady's involvement, and by we, Raz means you. Accuse? Not exactly. Raz wants you to talk to her, see what she knows about the Oldar. The Kin Lady is meeting with local leaders. Attend that meeting and learn the truth. This invitation and set of elegant clothes will get you through the door. A Sigic? Raz has heard rumors, but there are always rumors about the Sigics. For an island of sages who disappeared more than 300 years ago, they certainly seem to get around. Did this Sijic mage say what the Order was investigating? There was a life-sucking pearl. You should probably have led with that bit of information. Well, we can worry about the Sijic mage and figure out where these pearls came from later. For now, go see what the Kin Lady has to say. Kin Lady Avanice and Raz do not get along. You see, there was a horse, a platter of pudding tarts, and... No. This one won't bore you with the sordid details. Besides, everyone behaves well when they see Raz. You will learn more than I would.